It's Heightening Headlines, Improvising the News, the Improv Comedy News Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Heightening Headlines, Improvising the News, the Improv Comedy News Podcast, featuring me, Alec, and guest host...
Mayumi.
Yeah, we have guest Mayumi from Vienna, originally from Japan, joining today.
Hello.
What would you like everyone to know about you?
I'm an improviser. My expertise is in the intersection of mental health and improv. But in Munich, I'm mainly here for performance and doing this.
Yeah. I mean, you also were doing a bit of mental health safety coaching.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. And a bit of performing with last week's guest, Lara.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a very fun show.
Yes.
I would like to also ask, what's like one thing from your experience as like an applied improv coach and like improv mental health coach that like one experience that really stuck out or was like really interesting or something that you learned that you just was like, whoa, this is cool?
I think one thing I've been thinking of recently is in trauma-informed practice, one of the core principles is predictability, which seems impossible in improv. But I've been navigating how to do this, how to incorporate trauma-informed practice into improv. And then at one workshop I ran at the festival recently, one person came to me and then she had a really bad experience in improv, but she's still doing it, which is amazing. And I could give her an advice as to how to create predictability so she doesn't feel unsafe, which was basically before touching someone, for instance, as a character, I'm gonna grab your hand or I'm gonna give you a really tight hug. So you verbalize what you're going to do, and then you don't feel, you don't get caught unpredictably.
Yeah. You verbalize the behavior so that there's time for people to make decisions on how they react to it without being caught by surprise.
Yes. Thank you for.
And does that go, how do you sort of best make that work both ways? Like not just the, like this person, obviously they can do that for the other person, but would you just encourage them to explain to any scene partner before a scene to then also do that for them?
It doesn't have to be every time. But if you are in a team, if you're in a troupe that you play regularly,
right,
and then you can discuss like how much is comfortable, how much feels in a safe zone, how much would be oblivious. I'm not sure, but I could try that kind of things.
Gotcha.
And there are many ways to navigate this. And then some people think it's like a limitation, but it actually makes you feel more bold. You know that, okay, this level is acceptable, this level is safe. Within this range, how I could connect with this person, how, like what bold choices can we make? And it's actually quite encouraging. And then as a result, even artistically, you flourish that way.
It actually makes me think of the workshop that we did yesterday, which Mayumi gave some safety tips, but mainly was a singing workshop.
Yeah.
And the sort of first principle was basically, because a lot of people in the workshop weren't really singers, hadn't really done musical improv before, it was like the philosophy of like, you can't sing well until you're comfortable. And then you can be more authentic, be more creative. Yeah, it's almost like there's some kind of theme there. Maybe if I was a smarter person, I'd be able to make a connection between these two things.
Yeah, but I love the idea of how Nick, the teacher, made us feel relaxed, comfortable before doing any singing things. It's very important. And then when we feel relaxed, our brain is relaxed. It's a relaxed mode. And then when we are stressed, the stress hormone goes everywhere in our body. And then one of the first place in the body that's affected by the stress hormone is in here, in the inner ear.
Right.
And then when the muscle gets tense, it bulges a bit. And then it actually affects our hearing and the vision as well. So you might get tunnel vision. You might hear only like a certain wavelength, not wavelengths. What is the word? The
frequency?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you listen less, you see less, which isn't good for improviser.
No. And is it also like being inside the ear? Does it also affect things like balance? Yeah.
Yeah. How it's affected depends on the individual.
Okay.
But it can cause, if it's really bad, like a vertigo, for instance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, of course that affects balance then, I suppose. Yeah.
So you feel less stable. So being relaxed is important not just psychologically, but it affects our body.
Yeah. So physically as well.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think on that note, we should take a deep breath and relax. I've had somewhat of a stressful weekend, so I'm also glad to be able to sit here and relax and have a very nice conversation.
Nice.
And read what sounds like it could be quite an absurd article. Funnily enough, absurdity makes me relaxed because it's like, wow, things are so crazy. My life could never be that crazy. And most of the time it's not.
That's understandable. The absurdity is one of your strengths in improv.
Thank you. Well, shall we start it?
Yes. So I got this news about the headlines is wrestling matches provide an action-packed story time at U.S. libraries in photos.
Yes. Would you like me to deliver the article and you can give me your authentic reaction?
I haven't read the entire story.
Neither of us have read the full story. Only the headline. The handwritten sign at a Northern California public library warned patrons to expect more noise than usual. Not typical for a library. That warning was quickly proved to be an understatement, as professional wrestlers, accompanied by booming music, thundered into the reading space and jumped into a ring, flanked by row upon row of bookshelves. Dozens of children and adults greeted the theatrics with hoots and hollers at the Benencia Public Library in Benencia, California. Welcome to Lucha Libro, a high-energy, action-packed story time that is bringing live wrestling matches to libraries across the U.S. to promote literacy. Founded in 2024, Lucha Libro plays off the name of the popular Mexican-inspired sport, Lucha Libre. Libro means book in Spanish.
Some photos?
That's actually kind of the whole article, and everything else is just photos. Oh, wait, okay, there's a little bit more. Libraries are typically sedate places, but the wrestlers did not hold back. They body slammed their opponents and aerial kicked each other in the chest. Among the brawny wrestlers was Llama Jack, sporting a black mask with furry ears, who read Llama Llama Time to Share before being interrupted by his rivals barging into the ring. He took them down in minutes and then finished the story. Over 40 events are planned this year at libraries from California to New Jersey. One of the most popular wrestlers on the circuit is the fighting librarian, Richard Schnary.
Schnary.
Yeah, spelled Shhnary. Schnary. The idea started in 2024 when Lucha Libre's CEO, Jerry Rocha, and co-founder Victor Dwight were approached to put on a show at a local library. Rocha said in an email, Dwight wrestles as Victor von Richter. A year later, Lucha Libre debuted at the Venecia Library. Two worlds that were never meant to cross paths have since collided in the most spectacular way, Rocha said.
Can I see some photos?
Yes, please. And we can read out some of the photo descriptions as well, I think.
There are a lot of photos.
There is a lot of photos.
Yeah, it looks very surreal. Like a half-naked wrestler coming into the library with his arms up. Ha! But it's a library.
Fans watch as wrestler Hitman Wayne, middle top, applies a hold to Rufio Banderas during the match at Lucha Libre. Fans react as wrestler Jules Raphael walks towards the ring during a Lucha Libre pro wrestling event.
Audience reaction looks very mild.
In this photo, yeah, they're kind of just like, he's wearing a cool shirt. Oh, this one's pretty intense. Wrestler Jaguar Montoya stomps on O.C. Hayes outside the ring.
Outside the ring?
Yeah, they're on like the bit in front of the chairs.
Wow, that's a good photo. And then people are like, what is going on?
Yeah. A lot of the photos, actually, the wrestling is very intense, but the people are like kind of chill.
Yeah.
There is this one here, though. There's like a kid reaching under or like putting his head under the barrier rope and screaming.
Yeah, kids look quite engaging, where adults were like, so what is this?
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like our first scene is written for us in a way.
I guess so. Wait, what? It's the Llama. Is it Llama?
Llama Jack.
Llama Jack with llama puppet on his
head. All right.
But it's yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Reader's Digest. That's right, we have the Reader's Digest Ultimate Wrestling Tournament, where we smack them down and then lift up our intelligence with books.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Jack Llama.
Yeah, Llama Jack. Part llama, part Jack.
Thank you, everyone. Here's our guest today. Could you give him a round of applause, please?
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
Should I introduce your company as well, this white fluffy?
Yeah, this is my best pal, Llama Jack Jr.
Llama Jack Jr. Everyone, applause, please. Excellent.
Hello, my name is Llama Jack Jr., and I'm also a wrestling champion.
Oh my goodness, you're so small and you are a champion.
Yeah, Llama Jack's like a baby boy to me, but he knows how to throw down in the ring.
That's lovely. Does he know how to read as well?
Oh, of course. There's two things important in my family, wrestling and reading.
That's right. I'm only 12, but I read at a university level.
Wow, he must be really, really intelligent.
Are you familiar with Tolstoy?
I have read one or two books, yes.
He's my favorite. But please don't ask me to answer any questions.
Well, don't worry. I don't know too many things about Tolstoy to ask you questions. Maybe some readers. Ah, okay. Thank you. They actually want to talk to you, Mr. Lamajak.
Oh, I'm happy to provide any of my powerful knowledge.
So for today's book is... Oh, that is very interesting choice, Mr. Lamajak. Martha Stewart.
Yeah, she's my favorite author. I love her books and I love her cooking.
Huh, and it's her autobiography.
She's a powerful woman and I respect her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know she cooked with Snoop Dogg?
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Did she?
Yeah, it's quite a famous cooking show event.
Wow, does everyone know about it? Of course, no one. That is interesting. So, to start with, I'd like you to read. I have this bookmark here. The beginning of this chapter, you said this is your favorite part.
Of course. Sorry, little Llama Jack Jr. Gonna have to sit you down for a moment.
I can.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good boy.
I'm gonna do my best because I really don't want to offend my hero, Martha Stewart.
That's okay. And also, in case you get emotional, I have tissues here.
Thank
The
you.
box.
Martha Stewart always brings out so many things from within me.
Are you sure? You look very emotional already.
It's important to be authentic in times of education. It's not just about smacking down. It's also about standing up for what we believe in.
Dear audience, just in case you are still wondering why a gentleman like him is here, now you know. He brings in authenticity. It's not about smashing people down. Please go ahead.
Cooking. Cooking is so important to me. Cooking is what gave my life purpose and what brought me into the public eye. She just cares about cooking so much. Look away, Llama Jack Jr. It's too emotional.
Tissue, Junior, tissue for myself, tissue for you too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Martha Stewart, you're my hero. How I wish I could eat your cooking one more time.
Dear audience, if you also want to cry, feel free to come and have tissues. And also, our hugs are free.
That's right. Llama Jack will be giving out free hugs after this event.
And then
For Martha.
Yes. And also his autographed books as well. It costs 40 euros.
Not this book, of course. My book.
Not this one, yes. Your book about how to smash guys on the floor?
Yes, it's called Smackdown versus Raw Feelings.
It is actually, you can buy on Amazon, but that would be 45 euros. So here you have a bit of discount.
Yeah, and also, down with capitalism.
Down with capitalism.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you for sharing this with me.
I will take the book and you can take the junior back.
Are you okay, Daddy?
Yes, son. It's okay. It's okay to cry.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, son. Give me a hug, son.
So, dear audience, if you were expecting any toxic masculinity behavior, no, you're wrong. See what you're saying.
The only thing toxic here are the people who don't love Martha Stewart.
I 100% agree.
Llama Jack, out. See.
Llama Jack.
That was quite emotional.
Yes, it was very emotional.
Makes me wish I knew more about Martha Stewart, actually. More about her than just other than the fact that she's a famous cook and she cooked with Snoop Dogg one time.
I don't know much more than you do. It just came out.
Definitely not the book I was expecting. I was like, oh, it'll be some kid's book like The Cat in the Hat. Nope, it's Martha Stewart's autobiography. We're going to read to a bunch of children in a library Martha Stewart's autobiography.
For kids.
But hey, emotions are... everyone's old enough for emotions. Regardless of where they come from.
Yes, and then don't suppress your emotions. It will always come back in many ways.
Yes, let them out, let them breathe.
Yes.
What? Is there a book that you can think of that affected you a lot in a similar way?
In a similar way?
Well, maybe similar is too strong of a word. In a way that was strong, whether similar or not similar to this kind of reaction.
Okay, I'm thinking. Actually, when I read the biography of Marcel Duchamp, it was quite liberating.
Okay.
So he was one of the artists in Dada movement. Actually, not Dada. He was original. So people probably know about his artwork, which is a urinal pot.
Okay.
And then he was a part of this committee of exhibition. And the premise of the exhibition is no one is censored. All the applications should be accepted. And I knew that Duchamp did this, sent in this urinal pot to this exhibition. What I didn't know was he was part of this committee, and this committee said, no, this is not art. But he submitted this thing anonymously, and he said, but we said we don't censor, we don't screen out anything. But everyone said, no, but this is not acceptable. So he left the committee, but I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, in that... I mean, I feel like I can only guess, but in that sort of situation, in that moment, even though they made that agreement, whether he knew that people weren't going to be true to their word. And so it wasn't just like we'll see what happens, it'll be funny. It was like a planned thing.
He was very smart, and I love that it's very playful way, ridiculous way.
Yeah.
But in a way, he was very serious. So he did loads of things, and then basically smashed the concept of art. Like all these weird art people think, like, is this art? Like it's not original. Duchamp did all these kind of things. And I was like, wow, what has he done?
No, that's good. Breaking down the norms of art. It's what I think we should all strive to do in a healthy, appropriate way.
Yes.
So in that case, so obviously that's one art piece. Would it be that one, or would you say that there's an art piece of his that you know that you think is, like, to you the most interesting in some way?
Funnily enough, I'm not a big fan of his artworks.
Okay, more just his principles and approach to art.
But what I was surprised about is, well, I read his biography, and he did this, he did that, and then concept behind this is this and that. And I realized that's what I was doing when I was in primary school. So in one year in my primary school, teacher gave us a homework that we determine what we do.
Okay.
So some kids did some math problems, some just read books, and then I just made things up. And one thing I remember was it's a box. It's a box of like snack, or I don't know. And then I made a lot of things and I put in this box.
Mm.
And the concept was, this box is a memorables for my dad and mom.
Mm.
So it's like a love letter from my dad to mom, their photos. And then I had no idea about romantic relationship whatsoever back then.
Mm.
But I made this memorables box. And that was my homework. I don't think anyone, including my parents, my friends, understood anything.
Right.
And I still don't understand where this idea came to me. I don't really understand, but yeah, I felt like, okay, so Duchamp was doing something centuries ago, and then many years ago, I was doing these things. What is this? It was both confusing and amusing.
Sometimes an artist, you just feel compelled to do a thing in a moment.
You don't need a reason.
Yeah.
Just impulse.
Or maybe there is a reason there, but maybe you don't even necessarily consciously know what the reason might be. Because, I mean, how old were you when you did this?
I was 7 or 8 years old, maybe 7.
Okay. So it's sort of at least a kind of couple of decades you're still thinking about this.
Yes.
Which I think is awesome. Because, yeah, I mean, I didn't really start doing, like, art in the broad spectrum of the word art, including things like music, until I was probably, like, 10. And even then, I was playing instruments, but, like, I don't know if I would say I was thinking creatively about how to play the instruments. It was more just learn the notes, play the notes, enjoy the sound. And it, yeah, sort of years later that I started doing things like making my own music and all of that. And honestly, I would even dare to say it's probably only within the last 5 years that I feel like I've gotten to a point where I am freely exploring ideas that I think are similar to that, where it's just like, what if I just did this? I don't know why, but I kind of want to. I think it would be funny, or I think it would be interesting. And then I'll work out why it seemed interesting later when it's done.
Do you think you had this playfulness before 10? Like, do you remember anything?
Definitely did have the playfulness. I think, like I think I've told you before that, like, I was watching a lot of improv before I ever did it. But in terms of, I guess I should say, before I ever did it in terms of, like, official improv, whatever you would call it, going to actual classes. But my cousin and I, and my brother, used to play all kinds of ridiculous games that we made up when we were kids. My favorite one was literally just called the random game. And all the game was that one by one, each person would just say a word, any word, and the goal was to make the other people laugh. And so you would just try and think of the most random word that people wouldn't expect you to say, and then see if they laugh. And even then, there was times where, like, I think back and I'm like, I was using, like, some, like, basic improv techniques where, like, you know, maybe I would say a word that I thought was random, but it wouldn't get a laugh the first time. And then it'd get back to me and I would say the same word again, but it would feel different because of the context of the other words before it got to me. And then usually the third time it would be funny. Sometimes it was more funny to me than it was to the other people, but...
Because you made a game?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you remember what words made your playmate laugh?
That's a good question. I don't know if I can remember any specific rounds of it. Because most of the time it actually, like, it wouldn't actually be the words themselves that would be funny, right? It would be sort of the energy that we would be in during that time. and just, you know, my cousin also, like, just the funniest guy, and sometimes, you know, it wouldn't be this exact word, but it would be something really normal like car. But he
Oh.
would just say it like so dry in this way that like it would just be funny.
So you just say the word in turns, and then you just make
Yeah.
other
So
person laugh.
it's almost like if you imagine like the typical improv exercise of like associating,
Right.
except you don't associate. You just say words.
Can we try
I was
this?
gonna say we
Yeah.
can do it right now.
Nose,
Full.
elephant,
Pants.
beat,
Sauerkraut.
iris,
Fist.
pine,
No.
mama,
Eagle.
beagle,
Freegle.
Aussie,
Face.
4x,
Face.
base,
Face of base.
anime,
Granny May.
mom.
Lucho Libro.
You're about to laugh. You made yourself
That's the
laugh.
thing, right? Usually I would lose, and usually it would be my own fault.
It's funny because in my head, I was not trying to make you laugh.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's also
Uh-huh.
not necessarily. I don't know. It's like you're trying to make the other person laugh, but it's more just like getting into it to the point where it's like, come on, something happened.
And also, like, what entertains me, what feels funny to me. Yeah.
It was also interesting playing it now because it was actually really difficult not to associate.
True. Like rhyming and
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that was the game. And, you know, I mean, also as kids, it was probably easier to make us laugh. And, you know, we're also Australian kids, so sometimes the laugh would just come from one of us saying a dirty word.
Yeah. Poop, fart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Playing with kids is one of the best improv practice.
I've actually never done improv with kids, and I think it would be super fun. And actually, a mutual friend of ours, Sarah, was telling me that she, I'm not sure if it's like young kids, it might be like high school kids, but I think she was saying that she teaches a lot of kids improv when she's back in Slovenia. And yeah, it sounds awesome.
Like teaching improv is one thing, but using improv out of necessity is a really good training.
Yeah.
For instance, my brother was born with autism and intellectual disabilities. So he can't come to where I am to play something. For instance, I make something and I say it's a dog. And he says it's a spaceship. And no, it's a dog. It's a spaceship. And he can't come to my place to play with the dog. I have to go to his place to play a spaceship.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't learn for a long time. Of course, I was a kid as well. But then I learned how to create immersive space with him to play. And that's actually a base of my improv skills and communication skills as well.
Yeah, okay. Lee White was actually telling me about, because he does the format where he performs with a random member of the audience. He once had a kid come up who, I think, basically they took the suggestion and sort of established the premise of like, okay, you're to the kid, you're here in your car to get some gas. And I'm the gas station attendant who's gonna fill her up. And then got all of this, agreed on all of it, and then as soon as they started the scene, he goes, so you're here for me to fill her up? And he goes, this isn't a car. And I don't, and this isn't a gas station. So Lisa, they just went, then where are we, mysterious person? And it was just like almost became a game of like the kids sort of not accepting any of the realities. And then the challenge became like, okay, so how do I bring this to some kind of resolution? And the scene basically went on until the kid said, what do you mean? I'm just here to get some gas. And then there was a big laugh and it's like, perfect, cut.
Like in adult improv, we are taught to not to block.
Yeah.
But kids do like 100% block.
Yeah.
And then we have to figure out the ways to entertain them.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good training.
Yeah.
Love that this is not a gas station. But we agreed.
So should we finish with a scene where one of us is just, I don't know what the best way to put it is, just a really bad improviser?
Yes.
Do we want to decide who that is in advance, or
let's figure out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the World Wrestling Championship. I am your host, Stam Stevensons.
And I am... Am I the host as well?
Yes.
Okay. I am the host, Llama White.
Well, we're co-hosts. Llama White is the wrestler.
I thought I was the wrestler because I wanted to play a wrestler.
All right, let's do a wrestling scene.
Okay.
Whoa, my name is Llama Jack.
No, that's my name.
Okay, your name is Llama Jack.
No, I want to be Llama White. Llama White.
Okay, I'll be Gerbil Squeeze.
Double squeeze. Okay, punch, punch, punch.
Rah, rah.
Punch, punch, punch.
Rah.
Punch in the crotch.
Oh,
I
my gerbils!
I win! Did you say something?
I said my gerbils.
I win! Okay, next wrestler. Who has to lose?
Okay, I'll play Loser Larry.
Loser Larry. I am Llama White.
So you gonna hit me in the balls again?
No, I'm bored.
Well, how about I hit you in the balls? Llama White, punching the balls.
I don't have balls.
You're right.
I don't have balls. I think I'm bored with wrestling, so... Shing! Chop off.
Oh, I guess I'm just ahead now.
Is it just a head?
Just ahead.
Then what is this?
That's my body that got cut off from my head.
Why it's staying here?
Because it's time for the World Wrestling Championship. I am your host, Stam Stevenson. And this is my co-host.
Llama White!
That's right. Llama White is guest hosting the World Wrestling Championship.
Why are you still speaking? I chopped off your head.
You're right. I'm sorry. Oop. Ooh, I'm the ghost of Stan Stevenson.
Ghost!
Here.
Who do you want to call Ghostbusters?
Yeah. Oh.
Gone.
This is Stan Stevenson coming to you from inside the Ghostbuster pack. It's real cold in here. My partner, the ultimate Ghostbuster, also the ultimate wrestler. Gerbil Squeeze.
No, that's not my name.
Llama White.
I'm bored with that name.
Mysterious unnamed wrestler.
Your choice.
Mysterious named wrestler.
Boring.
The
Quick.
Blo-
Say something.
Scene. Solid 4 minutes of chaos.
And when adults do it, it looks ridiculous. When
Yeah.
kids do it, yes, it's a kids thing.
It's a weird experience because it's like, okay, we've got nothing to work with, but we've created so many things. So how do we start just using the same things in different ways?
Actually, I watched a scene played by experienced improvisers, but they are playing bad improvisers.
Oh.
So like this table, and then you walk through it, etc. And then I cried because it was so funny.
I'll bet. I would
Mhm.
love to watch a show like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of the funniest parts of the workshop with Lee was he would teach it by pretending to be one of the most difficult kinds of audience members he would have to work with, that he would call a Bob. And one character comes up and he's like, "Hey, that's my friend in the audience. Hey, how you doing, friend?" And just the whole time, just like jumping out of the scene to be like, "Dude, did you see that?"
But yeah, it's good to learn the basics to do something bad.
Yes. You have to know how to do it bad to know how to do it good, and you have to know how to do it good to do it bad.
Yes.
Actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe you don't have to know how to do
Wait.
it good to do it bad.
Well, but when you know like what is good, then that actually looks bad. I used to do this, but actually I don't want to do this anymore. Mm-hmm.
Maybe everything is everything.
Maybe nothing is nothing.
Nothing is everything.
Always nothing.
Always nothing.
A single thing is everything.
Nothing is a single thing.
Nothing is all.
All is all.
All is me.
Face.
Teeth.
Desk.
Bomb.
Lucho Libro.
Blanket.
Friend.
Lama White Jr.
Lama White Sr. and Martha Stewart's baby, Lama White Jr.
Brain blooping.
Looping brain.
Dupe.
Poop.
Goop.
Poop.
Dear.
Poop. Poop.
Cousin.
Poop.
Cousin.
Poop.
Cousin. 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 Cousin.
And that's our show. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heightening Headlines, Improvising the News. Tune in next week for more.